Hello, welcome back to another Sunday School Bible class. I'm so glad you're here. Today we are on a lesson entitled Bad Partners, Bad Friends. Our lesson today takes place in the Old Testament after the Israelites were freed from Egypt and had passed through the wilderness on their way to the Promised Land. Before they entered the Promised Land, Moses had died, and Joshua was chosen by God to be the new leader to take the Israelites into the land of Canaan, which God had promised, and therefore it was called the Promised Land. However, God told Joshua the same thing that he had told Moses, which was to destroy all the people living in the land of Canaan because they were so evil. The Israelites were not to make friends with any of them or marry any of them because the people of the land would corrupt the Israelites and cause them to start committing the same sins that they were committing and turn the Israelites into evil people as well. Under the leadership of Joshua, the Israelites conquered many cities in the land of Canaan. The Israelites were about to conquer a city called Gibeon. The leaders of this city got together and came up with a plan that would trick the Israelites into becoming their partners instead of their enemies. They sent a few of their members into the camp of the Israelites disguised as poor travelers and told Joshua and the leaders of Israel that they were not from the land of Canaan, but that they were from a very far country and that they had traveled a long time to reach Canaan. They asked the Israelites to make a league with them, which means to let them join the Israelites as partners so that the Israelites would help and protect them from the people of the land of Canaan. When Joshua asked them why he should believe that they were from a far country, they showed Joshua their clothes, which were old and dusty, and showed him their sandals, which were worn, and even showed him their bread, which was moldy and hard, to prove to him and the leaders of Israel that they had traveled a long journey and were from a country very far away. However, of course, this was part of their disguise. They were lying to Joshua. Joshua, the leader of Israel, made a very big mistake. Instead of asking God what he should do, he just decided to make this league with these people and promised with an oath that Israel would protect the Gibeonites and never fight against them. About 3 days later, the Israelites found out that the Gibeonites lived just a few cities away, and the Israelites were very angry. However, Joshua met with the leaders of Israel and told them that because they took an oath not to harm these people, they must abide by the agreement, or God would punish them for breaking the oath. Therefore, Joshua met with the Gibeonites and told them that because they deceived him, they would be servants to the Israelites from now on. When the other kings of the land of Canaan heard about all the cities the Israelites conquered and that the Gibeonites made a league with the Israelites, they were scared, and many decided to join forces and attack the Gibeonites because they joined forces with the Israelites. All these kings and their armies encamped against the city of Gibeon and were planning to attack it. Now the Gibeonites sent a message to the Israelites and told them that they were in trouble and needed Israel to help them. So because of the oath, Joshua was obligated to take his army and go into the city of Gibeon and fight for them. God promised Joshua he would help him win this battle. as the Israelites chased their enemies, God sent great hailstones upon their enemies, and more of them died from the hailstones than from Joshua's army. Not only did God send the hailstones, but during the battle, Joshua asked God to hold the sun and the moon in place to make the day longer, so that Joshua could finish destroying Israel's enemies in the battle that day. God performed a miracle and held the sun in place, making the day much longer until Joshua and his army finished destroying their enemies that day. During the battle, the 5 evil kings who joined forces and planned to conquer and destroy Gibeon hid in a cave. Joshua told his men not to stop fighting the battle to get these kings, but to roll a big rock in front of the cave and trap them in there until the battle was over. When the battle was over, they opened the cave and killed the 5 evil kings. As far as the Gibeonites were concerned, they were permanently decreed to be Israel's allies, or friends, or partners rather, because of the oath that Joshua made, which could not be broken. Years later, this proves to be very harmful to Israel, but that's another Bible story someday. However, the lesson to be learned here is that we should be very careful who we make friends with and who we promise to support. Some people are intent on doing evil, and they can drag us into their evil plans, and we can suffer many bad consequences. For example, if you made some ungodly friends and promised to go with them to places that you should not, or to be with them when they do things that are against the law, you might find yourself in trouble even though you may not have actually done what they have done. Be nice to everyone, but never promise or agree to be part of anything that is ungodly or join any group that stands for ungodly principles. Always remember to pray and ask God before any decision that you must make. There is a scripture in the Bible that says, "In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths." That simply means always check what God says about something before you get involved in it. Checking what God says about something means learn his word so you know what he thinks about things. See ya next time. Bye-bye.